Hi everyone, I am so pumped for this hike. It is New Year's Eve. There's a huge snowstorm coming to Michigan tomorrow. It is New Year's Eve, so I'm getting in my last hike for the year. The last time I did my hike, I met the 3-county challenge that was offered by a local chapter. And so today I am hiking from the Dolan Nature Preserve to Lowell, Michigan. And in Lowell, Michigan is the NCT headquarters. It's about 12.5-mile hike. I am hiking solo. It is mostly a road hike, and so may not be too exciting, but I am super excited to end my hike at the national headquarters. So let's get started. And let me add, it's about 35 to 40 degrees out, and this is probably the coldest hike that I've done this year, so let's hope I have all of the appropriate gear. Okay, so when you park at the Nature Preserve, there isn't a sign for the North Country Trail, but I am on Baker Street, so I know that I need to go up Baker Street and then take a right onto 100th Street, because I've looked at the map and I do have the map in my pocket. I don't really see any blue blazes right here, but I know because of the interactive map and my printed map that I am going in the right direction, and I'm going north, and Lowell is north of the sanctuary. So back there, you see that sign? That's a place where you can get baked goods, and we got baked goods last time, and they were really good, so maybe I can get some this time too. Don't tell anyone, but I was a bad day hiker. I didn't clean my boots from the last time I hiked, which is about a month ago, so totally being a bad hiker to my boots. I really need to get these things cleaned up because that mud is caked on there. I'm approaching 100th Street, which is where I know I need to turn. I saw the blaze on the way here, and I saw it on the map when I was studying the map, and I know I'm going in the right direction because of my compass. I'm out of breath because the first leg of this on Baker Street was uphill. Oh my goodness. So now we're going downhill a little bit, and it looks like when I turn, it's going to be flattened out here. So this is going to make my turn way up there. That is where I'm going to be turning. Here's my handy dandy map. There's where we're going. Confirmation on my map. Here's the blue blaze right when you get up to it, and you can see that arrow. And I need to turn this way. This is a short stretch on, I believe it is Wingear or Wingear Avenue. We're gonna turn left, and I bet these trees are gorgeous in the fall, and I bet they will be gorgeous after the big snowfall that we have tomorrow on New Year's Day. I can't do a hike without a nod to our barns in the state of Michigan and our farms and everything they provide for us. Gosh, it's farmland, always beautiful, really. I can't imagine the hard work it takes to feed this country. So, man, thank you. Here's our street sign. And right at the top of that hill up there on the road is where we're going to turn left to continue on the North Country Trail. See that street sign? Not quite sure how to say that name. If you know, you're from Michigan, you're from around this area in West Michigan, let me know. Wingear, somebody tell me. So far I don't see any signs of the right-of-way. This is 100th Street, it's M50 that we're on. So maybe that's why they don't have any signs. Here we go. Right here at the corner. All right. There we go. Confirmation blaze is always good. to see. All right, I checked my handy dandy map. There's the barn we saw before we turned the corner. All of its acreage of farmland. And we have farmland on the right side of us too. We are going north on the North Country Trail from the Dolan Nature Preserve to Lowell, where the national headquarters is at. And we will be on this road for about 4 miles. And this is gonna be beautiful, walking between these farmlands like this. It is a peaceful, no wind morning. And so I'm very appreciative of that. It keeps the wind chill factor at 0. Before I even got a half mile down this road, shunned my coat, shunned 2 coats. I basically have a red Dawn puffy vest, if you know what I'm talking about, from the movie Red Dawn. One of the characters wears a maroon puff vest. That's gone. My husband's Super Bowl jacket that withstands wind and rain, gone. They're both in my backpack back there underneath my orange visibility vest. And I'm starving for some reason, so I'm gonna eat a banana. I'm not hiking in any hunting areas, but because I am all roads, I do want to be visible. It's cloudy today, so there's not a lot of sun to shine on me to show people that I'm here. So I've got my orange vest on, got my hair up because I'm sweating to death, and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna have this banana. We're gonna finish up this road and then make our turn. My first animals I'm passing by, horses and cows. Aww. So sweet. More animals. Sheep, my favorite. And more horsies. More animals. Poor thing. I am approaching 92nd Street, which is M50, a highway that goes east and west in Michigan. So I'm approaching 92nd Street. So here is M50. This is M50. You can see the crossroad right there, and you can see the blue blaze showing that I go straight on this road. So I will be continuing on this road, and I did look it up. So I will not be turning until 60th Street. So right now I am on 90th Street, which is M50 in Michigan. I just passed M50. I mean, geez, Western Michigan, north of M50. I started at the Ohio-Michigan border. Woo, I'm on my way to the national headquarters in Lowell, Michigan. All right, so excited to end 2021 on the last day of 2021 on a positive, healthy hiking note. By the way, since we just passed M50, starting from the Dolan Nature Preserve, we've hiked 2 miles so far. We have 11 to go. We are approaching 84th Street. We are at just over 3 miles at this intersection. You can see the blue blaze saying, "Go straight, young hikers." We have 10 miles to go so far, and a few more miles on this stretch before we turn onto 60th Street. Here we go. Is that where they keep the baby calves in those little hut things? Okay. If it is, I'm probably gonna change my mind on veal and never eat it again. Man, kind of feeling awful right now, just thinking about how much veal I've eaten. I think the road is named after this guy. Look at that. How cool is that? I bet if I knock on their door, they'd be able to tell me how to pronounce this road right. But I'm not about to knock on a strange door. But pretty cool. 1892. Wow. Unfortunately though, this road, passing by that, it smells like cow carcass death, cow patties, and just
blood, and honestly, it just smells like death. It's kind of making me, this road is really rank. It's making me kind of nauseous. All right, as we approach 70th Street, the smell of blood and death and carcass and cow patties is behind us. Thank goodness. I may have to go vegan or switch to black bean burgers, which I really do enjoy. I enjoy black bean burgers. So that is behind us, saying thank goodness, as we approach 76th Street and almost 4 miles. So here we are, approaching 76th Street. There's a little creek that crosses the street here. It's from that side. And we have a confirmation place for North Country Trail. Keep going straight. Oh, man. Little moment of silence. We are at around 5 miles approaching 68th Street, and there was our little North Country Trail marker. We have a little road bridge here that we're going over for another little creek or stream that we're walking over. We're at 5 miles, which means we have 8 miles to go. How cool is that? How cool is this bird? And you can hear a woodpecker up in the tree. He's trying to be silent and still so I don't notice him. I can't really see him. I know he's up there. Can you see where he is? He's standing so still. Oh, there he goes. He's moving. He blends so well into the scenery. Isn't that cool? I'm at the 5 mile mark, and this really makes me feel like I'm in up north Michigan, although you know I'm not. Look how pretty this is. We are approaching 64th Street, and we are at around 5.5 miles. 7.5 to go. Beautiful. Wow, I think this may be my first snowmobile sign that I've seen while hiking. I have to go back and look at my previous videos and photos, but I do believe this is my first snowmobile crossing sign that I've seen. Very cool. We're getting closer and closer to getting off of this road and turning. I mean, I don't mind it. I like it, but I do like to have a little bit more twists and turns than one super long road. But I will say it is very peaceful out here. All right, we're coming up to 60th Street. Look, there's the sign. There's our turn. Oh my gosh. It's our first turn in a long while. We're at the 6 mile mark. We are turning right on 60th Street, and you can see the North Country Trail marker. Now, you can also see up here this other road sign showing us that we're gonna go on Seguin. We're gonna turn left onto that road. So we're on this road very briefly before we turn left going north, because we are going from the Ohio border on up through Michigan on the North Country Trail, and we will have about 4 to 5 miles on that road leading us right into Lowell, right towards the national headquarters. Cool, cool. Listen to that electricity. Listen to that current. If you don't think this affects us in some way, shape, or form, I don't know what to tell you. But there's been plenty of evidence that all of this electricity, 5G, internet, wireless, if you have ringing in your ears, you can't sleep at night, those are some of the symptoms of all the technology we need. All the technology that we use. Do we need it? I don't know. I'm using my phone right now and my Wi-Fi and using my GPS on my phone and texting people and taking videos and uploading to YouTube. So I don't know. We use it to communicate, socialize. It was great during COVID. So I don't know. But I know it has some sort of effect on us. It's just trying to live together and trying to have the least amount of effect on us as possible. All right, I've walked almost 6.5 miles so far. I finished this really long road of 5 miles, 4 to 5 miles, turned on this short street, and now I'm gonna turn on another street and go another 5 miles on that road. It's basically taking me right into Lowell to the national headquarters. Boom, boom. Here is our turn on a sequence street. Right when I turned the corner, there was a car coming this way and a car going that way, and so we all had to make room for each other, so that was kind of crazy weird. But this road is going to take us right into Lowell, so I'm pretty excited about it because we're going to get to the national headquarters. And in November, my last 2 hikes in November, I was like, you know, I'd really like to be able to finish my hike at the national headquarters, so I'm glad I'm out here. Only one issue, if my bladder is any indication of how badly I need to relieve myself, I can't imagine my dog, who is home alone, I can't imagine how he's feeling and how much he's gonna have to go by the time I get home, and pretty much guarantee there's probably gonna be an accident. So yeah, kind of how it is, I guess. I brought this 50th anniversary cookie from Disney World on my hike. Not the most healthiest, of course. We all know that. But I just wanted to eat it on the way. And it's got a little crumbly in my backpack, but here's to hoping it's still really good because I'm a little hungry. Here goes. Okay. Icing is a little hard, rock hard, but it's tasty and actually hitting the spot. I kind of like it. Very good. Okay, I just passed by another barn that had a ton of cows in it. And that smelled rancid too. And honestly, do you want to know what it smelled like? It smelled like rancid blue cheese. And I love cheese, and blue cheese is one of my favorites. So, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get that smell out of my mind. I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat blue cheese again. Geez, this could be like a change for me in how, in the foods I eat. I don't know. It was pretty rancid. Okay, I am super excited because, do you hear that traffic in the background? I am going uphill. I'm going uphill, and I am about to go over I-96, the freeway that takes you from one side of Michigan to the other. And it's the freeway that I take to get to this section of the North Country Trail. I take I-96 and get off in Lowell so that I can do this hike. So I'm pretty excited to be walking over a freeway. There's no on or off ramps from this road, but it's gonna be cool to look over. Okay, here is the blaze marker, and there is a plaque on this. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Michigan State Highway Department, John Mackey, State Highway Commissioner, built jointly by the federal government and the Highway Department, Edison Company, 1960. There it is. There's I-96. How cool is that? We are looking east from I-96. When I go uphill, I change sides of the road and I go on the right side because no one can see me when they come up over the hill on the left side. So, I will give you a little, no one's behind me. This is west. I will be on that side of the highway going home today. And that's the side that I took to get here. There it is. Very cool. All right. That takes you to Grand Rapids for all you Grand Rapids fans. And then the east side, hey, that's my favorite side. That takes you to Detroit. That's my favorite side of the city. All right, on we go northward to Lowell. I have crossed over Highway 96. I have gone from the Ohio-Michigan border all the way up to past 96 near Lowell, Michigan. Look at that, isn't that cool? Yay! Here we go! We are at 8 miles on Seguin Road. We are crossing Cascade Road, which gets you to West 96 and East 96. And so we are at just over 8 miles. So we have 5 miles to go. We're more than halfway done. All right, now that we've passed the excitement of the freeway and walking over the freeway, I'm looking for the next big excitement on this hike, and I think it's going to happen as we get closer to Lowell. That right there is Lowell Regional Green Space, and that marks about 9 miles on this trip. And so we have another 4 miles to go, a few more miles on this road, and then we'll be curving into Lowell. And I really do, I gotta admit, I really do feel like I'm in up north Michigan. Houses are spread way further apart on this side. My water bottle dropped. Houses are spread way further apart on this side of the highway. There's a lot more trees. And even though I can still hear the highway from here, it just reminds me of being up at my brother's in Gaylord. It's pretty awesome. Color me gorgeous. How beautiful is that? Okay, we are approaching the curvature in the road. It is curving to the east. Here it is, right there. We are approaching that, which means we have walked 10 miles and we have about 3 miles left to go. All right, I gotta pay attention. There's cars coming. I don't think people go 35 on this curve. That's okay, I get it, but all right, no more videotaping on this curve. I gotta pay attention. We are 10 miles into this hike, and this is our actual first blue blaze turn sign. That's the first time on this track I've seen the blazes. There was no NCT marker here, but I know from my map that I needed to turn right onto the street. And so this is Emery Drive that I turned right on. And when I get up to this stop sign, I'm going to take a left onto Lowell View Avenue. So I'm assuming, if I'm following this map correctly without any NCT markers, that this is the correct way to go. Let's hope I'm right. Not that I don't want to do any more miles or anything, but I'd pretty much be backtracking and I don't want to do that. I'm right because I can follow a map. Even though there were no NCT markers, I can follow this map here. So I followed it and I got a pretty good compass mind, so totally on the right trail. We are 11 miles in. I have a couple more miles to go. This spot right here marks the first time I actually feel a little bit cold because there is a little bit of a wind. So because we had basically no wind chill factor today, I was perfectly fine and not cold at all on this entire hike. So we'll see what the last 2-3 miles will bring in for us. Okay, at Lowell View Road, the NCT marker has basically fallen down. I wonder if that's what happened in the other area. So this is basically telling me I should go on this road right here, which I am going to do. I'm getting off Emery Road and taking a left onto Longview Road. So unfortunately I walked on the snow and got a little bit of it on my ankle, but it'll dry off and we only have 2 miles to go. All right. We now know with that sign, that fallen sign, we now know we are on the right track. We are approaching Grand River Drive, which means we are going to be taking a right. I do not see any NCT signs anywhere. So, but I know that I need to take a right. So I'm gonna cross over and then I'm going to cross the street after this car passes. And we will continue going down this road on this side of the street. And then we turn shortly after this. Okay, so according to our map, we're going to cross over some water, which we're crossing over right now. And then after we cross, we are going to be making a turn. Hopefully there's going to be a sign. If not, I will follow the map and figure it out, because this is pretty much not marked around here. What I do want to say is I just passed a marine flag. I've actually passed 2 marine flags today. I haven't seen any other ones. It doesn't mean that they're not around or that they weren't there. I just happened to notice the marine flags because, you know, my son was a Marine. So I just want to say thank you for your service. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I've got a nice wide shoulder for once. May not last long, but I'm happy to have it right now. Okay, according to the map, we are not going on Grand River Drive. We are going on Overly Drive. So we will not turn here. We will continue going straight. Still no sign of any blue blazes. Okay, so before I got too far up that road, I decided to look at the All Trails map and noticed on there that there's no way that I stay on Oberly, that I needed to turn left onto Grand River, which turns into Division Street. And then when I doubled back, I saw this NCT sign right at the curve. So I wish I had seen this before, but I didn't go down that road too far before I realized the mistake that I made. Okay, 11 miles in, I only have a couple more miles to go, and that was the only mistake I made, and it was just a teeny tiny one. So we are back on the trail. It looks a little different on the map that I'm looking at, the printed map from NCT, than what All Trails map looks like. So, but I'm just glad that I caught it quickly. And you will see this Lowell city limit sign. Oh, and here's the railway that has been abandoned. Look at that. Wow. And you will see this Lowell city limit sign. Here's the other side of it. Totally abandoned. So turn towards that sign and keep going. After I cross this bridge, on the left-hand side, there should be a trail, an actual trail, the first trail that we will have, not road walking, but actual trail on this hike. So I'm kind of excited. Let's see what it brings. Oh my gosh, look at this. I would have had no idea this was here. Man, look how big this river is. Holy cow. It's wide. And look at that bridge over there. Wow. How cool is that? That's really pretty. And look at that steeple for that church up there. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful ending to this hike. Ah, gorgeous. Okay, here's the trail. I'm a little nervous about this. It's totally snow covered. I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to be getting down on this thing, but I think I'm just gonna trek. It has an arrow, so I guess I'm just gonna trek somewhere along here and get down there. Okay, I see where the trail is down below, but I really don't see how to get to it. So we're just gonna make our way through it since it's covered in snow. Let's do it. Okay, we're going up and around. I'm going around all that stuff. Oh, because I see some pavement right here. And I see an NCT marker right there. So I'm assuming that it is this way because I see a blue blaze over there. So I think I'm supposed to kind of go up here and around and like kind of double back and then follow the river. So that's what I'm gonna do. From this vantage point, it makes much more sense. So you can see I was up there not knowing how to get down, but then you can see my tracks down here. Once I got down here, it makes way more sense. You can see the sign and you can see the trail that you're supposed to go on right there. So that is what I'm following. All right, we've got 1 mile to go. Let's do this. And the mile left to go is gonna be on a trail, and we're kind of starting this trail right here. There's no snow marks right here. And I'm a kicker-upper, which means I kick things up into my boots, so I'm loving all of this snow in my boots. But look, there's the blue blazes. So we are gonna follow this right to the national headquarters. Yay! Now I have to be more careful of my footing since we're on a trail, and there are lots of blazes on this trail, so that's good. I like to see that. There's a lot of, this is gorgeous. Look how beautiful this is. A lot of trees have fallen down. And we're gonna make our way right around this trail to NCT headquarters. What do I do with this? Am I not supposed to go past this? Do I make my way around this? This must be freshly fallen, so I think I'm gonna keep trucking along. I made it around that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now the trail looks a little better. If there's any more indications of I shouldn't be along this trail, then I may have to turn back, but I still see blue blazes. And it still seems okay. Even though I don't think anybody's been on this trail for a bit. Can't imagine what this will be like after the snowstorm. Woo! That'll be bad. Basically, there are deer tracks and some other tracks along this trail. Wow, very cool. Raccoon? Not sure. Here is that river. We were up there. We crossed over the river and doubled back. Now we are walking along this river. It is us and the animals who have made footprints in the snow. On the last leg of our hike, the sun is trying to peek out. We are on the trail and the sun is peeking through the clouds. Oh my gosh, this is the last half mile of our hike. It is going to be beautiful. Look at the sun hitting the snow. It is just really peeking out of the clouds. There's another tree that's down that we need to get around. This one seems easy. Oh, and it's definitely got, look at all those markings. It's definitely diseased. Look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, half mile left to go on the North Country Trail. We're moving away from the big river now. Along a little creek and under these trees, which obviously they have been through here and cut so that we could keep hiking. How sweet. That's so nice. Thank you to all the volunteers who managed the trail. So appreciative. Well, I see people footprints here, so somebody's been here. Not just me. Wow, is that an old railroad? That's what it looks like. This definitely looks like an old railroad. Dang. A little muddy through here. Do see some people footprints. Not many though. And just on this side, they must have turned around and gone back. They seem fresh to be going the other way. But they did not go all the way that I came because these tracks were not there. So they must have went up to the old railroad and walked up on the old railroad. Getting closer to our destination. So these are fresh from today, these footprints. And deer prints and animal prints. So going the right way. Wow, we are on the other side of that bridge now. Look at that. Wow. That is so cool. It's a really cool bridge. All right, looks like we gotta hop over this like everyone else did. Just risk getting our pants wet. Back along the river again. Glad I did that at the end of the hike instead of the beginning. I wouldn't have liked that because I can feel it on my pants. Brush it off a bit. Oh, goodness. All right. My tracks are the only ones going this way, so whoever that person was, they went the opposite way of us. And here is a blaze telling us to take a turn. We need to go right. I'm actually hoping to get to civilization soon because I really don't like to be on the trail all by myself. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't mind doing a solo hike on the roads. Like, I didn't feel trepidatious about it at all. But once I'm in the woods like this, I don't like being alone by myself at all. I don't like this. So, lots of little critter footprints. I don't see signs of that person through here. Any fresh signs of that person coming this way at all. So I don't know where that person went, which trail they took, but I know I'm on the right path right here to the North Country Trail, to the headquarters. Look at these cute footprints. These cute little animal prints. Look how cute these animal prints are. Aw, they're so cute. I do see signs of civilization right over there, right through the woods. I see signs of civilization, so we are getting closer. And I see another tree down that we're gonna need to go over. All right, we got this, we can do it. Yes, I went over that. Yes, my bum is wet again. So we will keep on keeping on. It wasn't so bad, actually. But still, I can feel it in my hiney. I am the only, not living soul, but person in these woods right now. Look at that. Listen to the river for a second. How peaceful is that? And I think I found the person who these footprints belong to because they are wading in the river and fishing. Okay, odd placement. And honestly, I ran through that section a little bit because I saw him in the water, but then when I walked by, I didn't see him. Like, he went up against the bank, so I couldn't see him. And that made me nervous. Once again, why I don't like hiking solo through the woods. Through cities, when I walk in cities for miles and miles, I don't worry about it. But in the woods, when I'm by myself, ain't having it. Yay, I feel so much better being in civilization. So excited about this. Now I just need to look at my map to find the NCT headquarters. All right, I made it. Here it is. I know they're closed, but I'm still super geeked that I made it to the national headquarters. So I can't wait for them to reopen again so that I can go inside and check this place out, which only means one thing. I gotta come back to Lowell, which is totally fine. And just do like a little sneak peek in there at some of their cool stuff that they have. So, which you can buy online, obviously. But yay, I made it here. It's so cool, from the Ohio border. I started right there at the Ohio border and made my way up to Lowell, wherever that is up here somewhere. So cool.
The national headquarters in Lowell, Michigan is off trail, but not by much. It's only down the block. After I visited the national headquarters, I went down the street for a little bite to eat and a little celebratory drink before my aunt rescued me, because I thought I could find an Uber, but I couldn't find an Uber. So my aunt lives nearby, and she actually rescued me and gave me a ride back to my car. These hikes in December of 2021 were actually pretty sad hikes for me, as my mom was sick and our dog grew so ill. He was 15 and a half years old that we had to put him down in the first few days of 2022. I still miss him dearly. He was such a gem in our life. Thank you for watching this hike on the North Country Trail, and I'll see you next time.